All right, all right. So hello everyone, and of course, welcome to the AMA with Keeplin. Now, before we get the party started, and of course, hand over the microphone to the team, let's just dive right into the short introduction from my end, so you, of course, can get the hang of the basics. So, for those of you that didn't have a chance to check them out already, Keeplin, it is a platform combining a smart car dongle with an app that enables data collection, driving insights, and connected vehicle services. Personally, I absolutely love the concept behind this. With the use of the dongle together with your app, it makes your life quite easier, especially with driving analytics that they are providing as well. Now, on top of it all, if we just tie everything together to, of course, the token side of things, you can also participate in their drive to earn model, which I personally think is just a great incentive here to really use Keeplin to your advantage. And of course, there are additional use cases here, specifically on the token side of things. So this is something that, as far as specific is going to be talking about later on, but just a little bit of the basic section. We're going to talk about further incentives. You have, of course, staking of the token. You can have premium discounts of partnered providers available for you. You also have governance and access to premium features as kind of like an extra benefit for Keeplin token holders. And this, and I really want to put an emphasis on this, that this is probably not even 20% of the things that they have available for you. But again, just a little bit of the basics, just so you understand what we're going to be talking about here today. And yeah, before handing over the microphone to the team, just wanted to drop a calm reminder for their sale on GemPad. So it is taking place today at 10:32 p.m. UTC sharp. As always, if you're interested in contributing, you, of course, can find the link to it on the AMA announcement, which we did forward in our main chat once again. And you also have a standalone sale announcement, which is currently the last pin message. So hassle-free, everything taken care of for you. So do feel free to check everything out. And, of course, some encouragement if you're going to have any additional questions after we're done with the session. Do make sure to also join your Telegram just so the team can get you sorted ASAP with, of course, anything else that you might want to know here. So, yeah, enough of me rambling on and on. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much for joining. Now, for starters, if you don't mind providing a little bit of background information about yourself, and then feel free to tie it together to the idea behind Keeplin. So how everything got started, what you wanted to accomplish, use cases, features, basically everything that you want the listeners to know in this presentation portion of the session. And then we're going to continue with some questions from my side and later on community questions as well. So thank you very much. And the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. And I'm proud to announce that finally Keeplin now is starting as a project. It's starting to be out to the public. So basically this project is split on two sides. There's a product side itself, which is not only about the hardware of the dongle itself, but the AI behind it. The AI that it's offering to do like all the data treatment in real time and in a very secure way, and can offer so many use cases to the users that with subscription, like the predictive maintenance, the fact that your car, everything gets registered on the blockchain. So there's like a real proof that nobody can tamper with. And that's something the second-hand car market lacks. More than 60% of cars are unconnected. They're like dumb cars. And now with Keeplin, they become exactly as the brand new cars, smart cars. They're connected through IoT, and they're connected to an AI that makes like the translation between the car and the car owner. Now, this technology has been developed since a couple of years, and it was done in partnership with tier one car manufacturer like Renault, like Toyota, like Skywise, like Stellantis, which is Peugeot. So basically, it's something very good out there. Now, to make that even better, we introduced the token side. And the token side here, the purpose of it is not only to raise funds, no. It's basically to create a network of agents with our franchise license that allow the person who's got that license to resell the dongle to collect 50% of the subscription if there is a subscription. If there is no subscription, he still can collect 50% of the drive and earn rewards. Now, for the dongle owner himself, it's like mining for him. Anyway, he's driving his car. So with the dongle, he ends up getting money back for driving his car by sharing the data in a very like secure way, an anonymous way, and he end up earning Keeplin token for these miles being driven. And beside that, we introduced the holding power system, which by holding tokens while he's got the dongle, he even make more rewards with that. Our tokenomics were done by Findas, which is like leading in the market. They're the same architect of the Midnight chain. So I believe everybody know them. And yes, we are ready to give the best to the people, to give the people what they deserve.
Perfect. Fantastic. Just wanted to say thank you very much for the presentation here. If you don't mind, I do have some follow-up questions and, of course, some topics of discussion. Now, usually just a little bit of, let's say, added information on how we're going to be approaching the session today. So very simple. Usually, I just like to start it off with some basics. Then we're going to slowly proceed with some specifics regarding, well, basically everything. So we're going to start it off with some useful information regarding specifically the dongle. Then we're going to continue on how you can actually use it in your car. And later on, some specifics regarding token holder benefits, tokenomics, everything like that. So yeah, without further ado, as I did mention, we're going to just start it off with the dongle side of things. So just interested to know for, all the specifics available with this. If, for instance, I'm just going to provide you with an example, right? So let's say that I would like to purchase a dongle myself. So how can I do so? Are those dongles already available to be purchased by the public?
Yes.
And perfect. Awesome. Thank you very much.
As soon as right now we are at the stage of the pre-sale. We are at the private sale stage. But as soon as the public starts, basically the public for us, as I said, it's not a fundraise, it's a sale. It's literally a sale of dongles and sale of packages. That's what the public is. So people are gonna be like buying tokens so they can buy the dongle, or they can like buy the license so for them to resell the dongle and resell the services. As I told you, the point of this is creating all these small businesses worldwide where people can resell our services and make profit on it, make money on it.
Perfect. Amazing. Thank you very much. And just a little bit of a follow-up question regarding the dongles, considering that they're already available here. I'm just interested to know, and this is, of course, if it's available to the public. Just interested. Okay, so just know, I mean, as far as not the dongle specifically, but information for the public on specifically how the manufacturing is currently working. So is the manufacturing already stopped? Is it starting, maybe in the process of it? Just so we can kind of... Yeah, sorry.
The partnership to manufacture the dongle is in place, and it's going to be starting fresh as soon as the public starts.
Awesome. As straightforward as possible. Much
so
appreciated.
We will be able to ship and deliver dongles as soon as the public start immediately.
Perfect. Exactly what I like to hear. Thank you very much. And a follow-up on this, considering we're already talking about the fact on how you, of course, can, purchase a dongle yourself. Just interested to know, as far as shipping goes, if we're talking about worldwide shipping, or are there any restrictions to, I don't know, countries, continents, or can just anyone get them, no problem at all?
No, that's one of the reasons why we took that in consideration by having the company of the product UAE, especially with the latest news about the tariffs war and everything that's happening in the world. So basically, we picked a country that is friendly with everyone, so we can ship worldwide with the least possible cost. That was part of the decision that was made on where to locate the company. We avoided places that might cause any problem with tariffs. We avoided being like located in Southeast Asia or many other countries where right now they're suffering because of the tariffs.
Perfect. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Definitely, I would say the right approach to take here. And especially, considering that it is, after all, something that I did already mention in the introduction portion of today's session. It's something that, of course, is going to make the life of drivers as easy as possible. So, ultimately, I think that it's definitely something that you would like to have accessible to absolutely anyone worldwide. So much appreciated. Thank you for that. And if we just move on to, let's say, the actual process once you start setting up the dongle here, because I think that we pretty much covered everything that interested participants need to know on you can actually acquire one. So let's talk about the fact once, of course, that's going to be up and running, you will receive the dongle at your doorstep, and you are all good to go to start using the dongle. With the setup here, just interested to know on how this will work as far as collection of data goes, right? So what is all the data that the dongle is going to be collecting here? What is all the, let's say, useful insights, the statistics that you can actually check on the app as you're using the dongle here? And just an add-on, I know that this is kind of like a three-part question as it is, but I was just wondering the entire, let's say, quick rundown of this, not only the statistics, but also compatibility, right? If we're talking about you buying a dongle and just wanting to set it up in your car, if that is 100% compatible with any car that you're driving.
Okay, so for the dongle itself, it's something extremely easy. We have it already on the MVP. We have already like the video of it, how to install it on our YouTube channel, which I invite everybody to have a look at. So the dongle is actually plug and play. You see, at every car there is this port where when you take your car to the garage, they install the machine through a cable just to do the diagnostic of the car and everything. It's exactly the same port. It's available. You just open the port, you put the dongle, and that's it. You're done. The dongle comes already equipped with the IoT eSIM card, so it connects with our servers in a very secure way, and it starts collecting all kinds of data from the car itself. Not about the driver, not about the person. We have nothing to do with the privacy of the car owner. What we care about is the state of the engine, the state of the brakes, the state of everything that it's running in the car. So basically, it becomes exactly as if you're hooked to that machine that at the maintenance garage they have, and you're driving with it the whole time. So diagnostic is being done 24/7 as you drive, and that's where the the maintenance comes in a way that we know what's happening to the car before it happens, through the signs that the AI treats. You can get directly warning on your app telling you like, okay, listen, you're getting this problem with the engine. You can drive for like 2 kilometers. And it even can ask you if they can divert you to the nearest garage or the nearest station. It helps as well with the driving behavior, which lead to the saving in petrol and saving in battery life. So yeah, that's the kind of data that it collects from the car, as well as it's equipped with an e-call and with emergency call for in case of, God forbid, accidents or stuff like that. It's equipped with geofencing in case like you have your son or a family member using the car, or in case the car gets stolen, so you get an alarm when the car leaves a certain area where it's used to be. So if anything like weird, you get directly notice to your app.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely a lot of information that it's providing here. And as we did mention at the start of today's session, definitely is going to make everyone's life a lot easier here. So much appreciated. Definitely like the fact on this. And of course, once again, all the information offered here, just so you can also, save and petrol, everything like that. So appreciate it. Thank you very much. And one thing that I think also makes sense for us to talk about here before we continue to, of course, the token side of things is a subscription model, because I do remember that this is something you briefly mentioned in the presentation portion of today's session. But just for a little bit more information, I'm just interested to know regarding those subscription models. If you have, let's say, for instance, different subscriptions with different tiers that, of course, depending on the tier of subscription, you're going to get, let's say, unlocked specific, let's say, services, maybe some premium features, as we already were talking about earlier. And on top of it all, once you do decide to, let's say, pay for a subscription of your choice here, if you do decide to pay with your native Keeplin token, if in that case, if you're eligible for, let's say, some sort of discounts for the subscription,
that's
or will
correct.
price. Okay, awesome. Perfect.
And that's not only with Keeplin. The plan is to make the Keeplin token a currency to get you discount with the insurance companies, because insurance companies are part of our clients when it comes to data, and as well with garages. We're planning to build a good partnership. Like once we start shipping the dongles, and we know when it comes to geography where most of our users are, we're going to end up doing like partnership with garages to make everybody's life easier and better.
Awesome. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. So that pretty much covers everything that I personally wanted to know regarding the dongle and, of course, what you can use to your advantage here. And yeah, as I did mention, let's just continue with the token side of things. So something I would just like to start it off with, of course, an incentive, something that both of us already mentioned on today's session. So that will obviously be the drive to earn model here for, of course, rewards, right? So just interested to know, once we start talking about you actually earning, so if I did manage to hear you correctly, this is something that's always going to be running as you're driving, so 24/7. So just interested to know if there's any other parameters on top of, say, doing miles. So I used to, okay. So yeah, that's the first thing that I was wondering, is you're, obviously doing more miles.
Sorry, I didn't get the question because there is something wrong with the voice your side. If you can repeat the question, please.
No problem. Should be all fine, Joe. But yeah, no problem at all. So yeah, I was just talking about if the drive to earn model, if this is strictly just tied to, let's say, you doing more miles, or are there any other parameters tied to it? And in addition to that, not only that, I was also wondering, once we start talking about this, if there's also a sort of like, let's say, a tracker. If we're talking about, let's say, you're using the app to look at all the statistics as you're driving, if you also have a separate tab that you could actually check how much you're earning in, let's say, real time on top of it.
Yes, definitely. There is, as I told you, it's the product is divided in kind of two. So from the product side, yes, you have an app that's giving you live statistics, live warnings, live messaging from your car. It's exactly like you're talking to your car directly, and your car is talking to you. That's on one side. On the token side, yes, you're gonna have access to a portal where you see what you're earning live, because that's how it works.
That's great for us. So yeah, we pretty much covered everything regarding the drive to earn as well. Now, if we continue, let's just talk about other incentives here, which would also be tied to the premium discounts for, of course, insurance companies here. So this is kind of like a fairly simple one, but you know, if I am to provide a little bit with my feedback here, and this is something that I'm, of course, 100% sure that you're going to be agreeing with it. But obviously speaking, you would like to provide the best possible service to your customers, to your users. So at the end of the day, if we're talking about, let's say, partnered providers, so in this case, obviously talking about insurance companies, we can only assume that you would also like to provide the best possible service specifically with those insurance companies as well.
Definitely, yes. That's the purpose of it.
Awesome. So here is where it brings me to the question. For instance, let's say that there's going to be, I assume that there's going to be, let's say, I don't know, either a portal, maybe a form that insurance companies will have to fill out in order for you to get back to them. So it brings me to the question, if we're talking about, let's say, a specific individual insurance company approaching you guys, how is the process for you to actually vet them? So what is all the information that you need from their side, and what is all the criteria that kind of helps you decide if you would like to help them partner up with you guys and, let's say, ultimately accept them on board so the service can be good, yes, the best possible?
In due course, we're going to be sharing all the process, because insurance works on two sides. There is a side where we share data with insurance, same as we share data with smart cities and everything. That's how we treat the data. And there is a side where it's good for the insurance to give a discount for people using our Keeplin, because it's a proof that the driving behavior is good. You understand what I mean? So you don't end up treating two people that they don't drive the same way in the same way. You can't charge the same person that like doesn't speed up and his driving behavior is in a certain profile. You can't like treat him the same way as you treating a reckless driver for the same fee or for the same cost of insurance. And that's where our solution comes in. So it's like a proof of the driving behavior. You understand what I mean?
Okay, perfect. And also an add-on to this, since we are talking about, partners after all, and something that I know that you briefly mentioned, well, not at the start, let's say mid-session as well, is other partners. So not only insurance companies servicing your car, maybe changing tires, and it just brings me to the question for other partners, if there's any limits, because obviously speaking, that the automotive industry, at the end of the day, it is a huge industry, and you have quite a lot of things that you can, of course, take advantage of, specifically, let's say, offering extra incentive for, let's say, token holders. So it brings me to the question, with services that have to do anything with a car, basically, even, I don't know, let's say car wash services, anything like that. Do you have any limits on partners, or is this anything that...
There is no reason why we should set any limits. And again, I'm telling you, with the franchise license, we're creating these small businesses, this small presentation for our companies everywhere. So we are open to work with our agents, with our license holders, that they become like part of the business themselves. We're open to work with them for local partnerships that they set with garages or with car washes or even with parts providers worldwide. So this way we get close to every single community of ours. Whoever's got like our dongle, he's got people around him and he's in direct touch with the company. He's got the full support of the company through that agent.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that the is the limit here. And, at the end of the day, it's definitely, if I'm to provide my feedback here, that it makes perfect sense for you to not restrict yourself, but just offer, as many alternatives as possible to absolutely anyone. So, yeah, much appreciated.
And just to add something, sorry, by using Keeplin dongle to collect this data, it helps even car manufacturers to improve their products, to know what's wrong, to learn from the model while it's driving live on the road. So it's the best test environment for cars and to make better cars for yet to come. And we already have partnership with these tier 1 car manufacturers.
Perfect. Absolutely amazing. Now, the last thing that I wanted to talk about as far as, let's say, specifically the token side of things go is also, and I think that I read upon this, and I think it was your white paper, if I'm not mistaken, but, extra, let's say, incentives and use cases for holding up the token would also be governance. So for this one, just, some simple things, just interested to know more about, let's say, requirements. I assume that this will do, let's say, minimum threshold of tokens that you're going to have to hold as a token hold. For me to speculate, just wanted to know requirements about the governance. And on top of all, once you do get accepted and get voting rights, what you can actually vote upon, and if you can also make your proposals as opposed to only voting on them.
Yes, exactly. And that's the point of this whole model. This whole model is to create partners everywhere. And having partners means they're going to end up having a say on big decisions when it comes to the token side of the business. And we all open ears to hear from our users, to hear from our partners, to hear from our agents, to improve. And that's what our team is there for, We'll be planning to offer full transparency, very close management with our community, with our agents, to improve our products, to improve the use cases, because by the end of the day, this AI is made by us. And it's learning every day from all these dongles that's going to be installed in cars worldwide. So it's in our hand to improve it better with the help of our community.
I think that feedback, it is important at the end of the day, so I 100% agree with the route that you're taking here. Much appreciated. Now, before we continue to those community questions here, because I think that you have been very, very detailed with everything that you're bringing to the table here, a lot of innovation, which, again, props to you guys here. Before we continue to those community questions that I did mention, I just wanted to ask you, let's say, some useful information, maybe some things to look forward to as far as the roadmap goes. So what to look forward to in the future, and maybe things that we didn't manage to discuss on today's session. So anything else that you would like the listeners to know before we move on to community questions, as well as the future, so the roadmap that you have in place here.
Okay, so basically right now we are at the stage of building our community on the token side. We are at the stage of the pre-sale, the private sale. As soon as that's closed, we're moving to the public. And meanwhile, while we're running the public, we're going to start shipping the dongles to the license holders and to the dongle holders. Something else I want to add here, that in our model, we're trying to accommodate for everybody, for people who can afford the subscription to get the premium use cases, even and for the other people that can't afford that subscription and they prefer to mine to make that extra income on their cars, like taxi drivers worldwide. And all these people that they drive the whole day, they're paying for the maintenance of the car, they're paying for the petrol. It's a way to give them back some rewards on that driving. So, and the second thing about our project, most projects right now are more related to the first world, to the US, to Canada, to Europe, because of the internet infrastructure and because for many reasons. The good thing about our project that it can work everywhere. It can work in Brazil, it can work in India, it can work in Russia, it can work in Africa. It can create a source of income for people without them putting any money in, by just installing the dongle and they start mining and receiving rewards. And as well, in our tokenomics, there's the part of buyback, where we put back some of the income of the company to rebuy the token in a way to try to boost the token and to create a healthy ecosystem for the token. And that's how we refill the rewards pool from it. The rewards going to be distributed. That's our aim.
Perfect. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. And I think with that you have been truly as detailed as possible, just providing all the relevant information here. But without further ado, let's just move on to some of the community questions here as well, just so we can cover the majority of the ground. So you guys know how this goes. The first participant is going to be on the hot seat. So Benoit, we're going to be the first community question here today. You know this goes. Better make a question scan, better make a great list. Hope awesome day so far. And of course, I was welcome.
Sorry,
Thank
can
you
you
very
ask
much,
again because the
Lance.
sound is not so clear? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, thank you. I have just one question, and it's in regards to the data that you said you'll be generating through driving, I think there was a time that I watched the documentary, and it was proving that most car companies, they collect data from drivers. Modern cars of nowadays, they collect data from drivers, and they get to
Sorry, you're cutting.
Yeah, but Nova,
Did you mean that you heard that they are collecting data from drivers themselves? I mean, data on the
yes,
driver.
some car companies, they collect data from drivers themselves, and they get to sell this data to the insurance companies, and which the insurance companies use these data to, either overcharge the customer due to their driving habits and the rest of them. So my
No,
question,
that's totally not legal to do, by the way.
yes. So my question is, how secure is the data that you be collecting from these drivers? How secure are these data? How
Okay, so
can the drivers trust you with whatsoever data that you are collecting from them, like from their driving habits? Because definitely, these data will contain the driving habits of the driver. If it's
I appreciate your
a
question.
common. You can go ahead.
Okay, I really appreciate your question, and it's very, very important question. And here what because we really need to respect people's privacy. And our side, our company is based in Dubai, and law in Dubai is a little bit hard with data. You can't play with data the way like anybody can do. So basically, our data collection is 100% legal, 100% GDPR compliant, and 100% anonymous. So you can never link that data to a person. We don't work on the basis of the ID of the driver. We work on the basis of the chassis number of the car. You understand what I mean? So basically, it's more related to the model, to the make of the car, but nothing specific to the driver himself. None of that data gets collected or shared. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, I didn't hear the
And
last part, but
we're gonna be very transparent on exactly what data is being collected. Everything gonna be available for the user to see, read, and approve before we do anything.
okay, that will be fine. And my second question is the device ready? And if the device is ready, there are so many cars that are outdated. Let me just put it that way, but they are still definitely on the road right now. And will this device be compatible with different models of cars? Talk like cars that were produced maybe in the 90s, and definitely I know those cars are not like they don't have like the complex systems that the modern cars have. So will these devices be compatible with
The
such
device
cars,
gonna be
such
compatible with
users
more than
just
90% of.
that. Okay.
Yes, the device is going to be compatible with more than 96% of cars, definitely from a certain age. But before selling the dongle, we're going to be providing a full list so somebody can check his car if it's compatible or not. And besides serving the second-hand market car, which is 60% of the cars right now, the device can be used on the brand new cars as well to mine KPT, to mine the token, and to provide much more data than what your board provides you on the car. As well, it works even on the latest Tesla cars and electric cars, where it helps saving on the battery, where it helps giving you more insight to your car. So basically, you're going to be seeing much more data than what you see usually on the normal board of the car.
Okay. Thank you very much. I wish you good luck to your project, and thank you, Rainland. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gunova. And let's keep it moving to Tommy. Tommy, hope we've had an awesome day so far as well. And the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Right now, it's a great day so far, guys. Just got one question about like the license revenues. I don't know. Is there any kind of cap on how many license one reseller can sell? I mean, can someone create some monopoly there?
You're cutting off as well. Now, I don't know if it's just Telegram today because I think everyone is cutting off. But yeah, Tommy, try to repeat it if you can, please.
I believe he was asking if like the number of license reseller, license holder, franchise license holder can have. No, definitely there won't be any monopoly, because you can see on our tokenomics there is different layers of how many licenses you can have under your franchise. So yeah, there is a limit to it.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for the answer. Tommy, thank you very much for your question. And we're going to keep it moving to Brain Twister. Hopefully you're having an awesome day so far as well. And the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Hello, Rainland GemPad. How you all doing?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome, man. I hope I'm clear on your end. I know Telegram's been acting crazy, or either that or the internet. Am I clear and through?
All good, all clear.
Fantastic. So, hello, H. Berry. I didn't have a lot of time to look into you guys' project, but I've been doing my due diligence as you've been speaking. A few things came to mind that I was hoping you could quickly address. Number one is product. It seems that you're mainly capable of serving both cars of old and cars of today. That is, those that particularly have Android screens and whatever. Your product, so to speak, it comes with an app, or how exactly are people going to be able to view all those statistics that the car is backing up, one? And then secondly, if it does, or supposedly should it do everything you guys are hoping it does, how exactly does it better the driver, so to speak, in terms of how they can use their car? Because that data that you guys are taking, it's not like they would be able to fix their car themselves. Those data, you would likely be selling them to third parties, or what do they call it, maybe mechanic and whatnot. So what exactly does the driver stand to gain, especially when they're not fixing their car themselves, if you get what I mean?
Yes. So just to answer that before we go to the second question, there is two gains for the driver. First, as in the use cases, there's so many use cases. One of them is predictive maintenance, which means instead of you like getting the car broken in the middle of the street just like that unannounced, at least you know something right before it happens. Sometimes even a long time before it happens. Because by the end of the day, for something to happen to the engine or to the car, it takes some time to get to that point. There is few things that happen to lead to that point. So that help the driver to know before time. And that's beside so many use cases, including like the geofencing. And there's so many use cases that can be used. So the data, it's not only like collecting data, it's sharing with the user. And the user has got access using his app on the phone. And we have the solution of fleet control, which comes like to handle many cars, like for the rental car, for company cars that can be handled through a website and using the fleet control feature. And that's definitely beside the mining of the token while the person is driving, beside like the financial profit that the dongle holder gets.
All right. Do you need me to repeat the second question, or
Yes, please.
okay? So, apart from that, I was asking about like the data that you guys collect. Obviously, it would be going somewhere because I don't believe you guys will all be using that data just for the AI. So, that data, does it get used by, like, is there connected with the people that run the maintenance for the cars, or do you sell them to maybe like the end of the day? Because if you guys go corporate, there will be pressure, there will be government and people that have their eye on your company, and they will come with their own knowledge about stuff like this, and they may force you to, or want to make you sell the data you've accumulated from maybe thousands or hundreds of thousands of cars onto them so they can use it on their own system. Are there any guardrails for that? And then the last question, okay, no, before I go to the last question, let's see your answer to that first.
Okay, so basically, as I said again, before anything, when we're selling the dongle and when somebody's signing up with us, there will be a full detailed list about the data, how it's treated, where it's going. The whole thing will be disclosed, and that's a commitment from us, which is legally commitment from us. That's one thing. Second thing, the data is mostly used for the car manufacturer and for the cities, the smart cities, because from the data of the car, you can know like everything about how crowded the roads are, the quality of the roads. For the car manufacturer, it helps them a lot because it's been it becomes like testing the car for the whole thing, for the engine, for the parts, for the whole setup of the car itself. That's where the data is precious. So it's exactly like you're selling a product and you're following how that product is behaving out there in different conditions, in different countries, in different roads, in different temperature, and different like usage, because there's some people who use the car for like 2 kilometers a day and other people who use it for like 20, 30 kilometers a day. So it's different. It's always different.
I am so happy you mentioned this right now, because that was what was leading up to my third question. Because my third question was, obviously, the people that would be, using your dongle, that would be getting your dongle mounted on their vehicles, each of their vehicles would come with different, issues. Some may even have almost engine failure, so to speak, before your dongle gets onto the car. Some may be flat tires or leaking oil. And all these things, I assume your dongle should be able to detect them. But it's not going to be a one size fits all scenario. Over in the US and cold areas, they use, I think all they use is like, is it 5W20? Yeah, 5W20 or so. While in harder climate, they use like 20W50 or whatever. I don't know if you get what I mean, but all these factors will come into play. So how exactly are you going to make sure your AI can handle all those differences that will come in and give an accurate idea of how the driver's experience is on your app and for the person's easy understanding as well?
Okay, so for the AI, we've been working on it now for a few years. As you can see on our website, the product started to be developed at Menaps, France, which is like with partnership of tier 1 car manufacturer. So basically, the AI has been already being trained, and now with the put out to the market of the product, it's going to be even more being trained with the fresh data that it's coming in. But once it's installed with the car, and remember something, each model of the car, there's certain standards, and that's where the AI gets the standards from. So there's like, you might find the same car, the same model, but different mates. The car that it's sold in the UK, it's not the same one in the US, it's not the same one in Canada. And that's where the AI detects the difference and use these standards to calculate whatever it needs to calculate based on.
Okay, all right then. So you just have at least you begin with a stock factory setting that you believe should work for the current particular climate, and then it'll adjust from there, right?
It works basically kind of like that. There's certain standards, and you start detecting everything. Plus, you start reading everything that happened to the car, because one of the uses of the dongle for the secondary market, it becomes like a tamper-proof book of the car. The whole thing, everything that happened in the history of the car, you find it in the blockchain. and that gives better value to the car. We can give you the value of your car on the basis of that market and the data collected
That
from that
sounds
car.
good, but then I wonder, wouldn't like things get screwed, or wouldn't discrepancies be bigger the older the car you like, the older far back you go? Because I mean, the what do they call it? The value, so to speak, that you would get from a car that's like 2003, 2004 old, direct from the manufacturer, those values may not actually be what you would get standard today from the start, especially in the different climates. So it would need some first-hand experience of these cars in this climate, so to speak, for your AI to actually reorientate
Yes,
and
but you're wrong about something. Let me tell you something. You see, for the benchmark of cars, it is like kind of custom, depends on the area, depends on the region, depends on the year it's made, depends on the model that it's made. You understand what I mean? So the benchmark is not standard. When we say this car of model 2005, they're not all standard benchmark. It's different.
All right then. All right. So when can we expect like a live demo? I know you said there's a demo of your like
We
a
have
video
an
of you
MVP.
on
We have the
YouTube.
MVP of the fleet control. We already have the MVP. We're gonna be sharing it soon.
Okay. Okay. Because I'm actually quite interested to see. This could potentially,
Thank you.
help a lot of people and not even get ripped off by mechanics and stuff. Because some people are crazy like that. If you get what I mean.
Yes. So it becomes like you having your own mechanic driving with you 24/7, telling you what's wrong with the car, what's not, without booking an appointment, without having to drive to the garage. You're like having a mechanic with you built in the car to tell you what's wrong. Definitely, you can fix everything, but at least it can tell you if it's safe to drive, if it's not safe to drive. Now, in many occasions, and honestly, it happened even to me, like with my wife. She used to have like a Mini Cooper, and she just didn't know when to stop. So as soon as she started having problems with the water in the engine, she kept driving, and that really messed up the whole car totally. The good thing about this solution, it warns you, it tells you like it's not safe to drive anymore, or it is safe to drive for this much kilometers. And that specific information, many people need it because it can save them a lot of money when it comes to fixing the car afterwards.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how you guys move forward, and I can't wait for your sale to start. Raylands, I know I took up a lot of time. I'm so sorry, brother. I just wanted to understand a few things. Thank you so
No,
much.
you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
No problem, Brain. Thank you very much for all your questions. And of course, we're going to keep it moving. So, Rayhan, you're going to be next up. Hopefully, you have an awesome day so far. Anna, the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Hey bro, what's up? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Welcome.
Okay, so I wanted to know that like you have bring pretty quiet and unique ideas, and this is the first time that driver can pay out while driving. So it would be applicable for any types of vehicle rider, or only will be like that most of the vehicle drivers are not involving in the crypto. So how do you plan to like reach out to them in real by the
Sorry, if you can
Telegram
ask again
marketing
because
or
you're cutting
so on?
off. If you can ask again, please, because you're cutting off.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, so you have mentioned that like drive to earn, so it's the good idea. So I wanted to know that most of the drivers are not involving in the crypto. So how do you plan to like reach out to them that you launched a new project while drivers can drive, they can earn? Do you have any plans to real life marketing? And also for the any type of vehicles driver can earn use their right to earn, or it will be like only car drivers?
I didn't hear the last part. I heard the part of the marketing, which we're just starting with right now, and that's one of the reasons why we are on GemPad. We just started with the marketing and with getting the traction and visibility needed in the market, and definitely investing into marketing so we get reach everywhere. But the second part of the question, I couldn't hear. I'm sorry.
Yes, I appreciate you that you bring GemPad. So it's only for the like those who are like Telegram users. You know, most of the drivers are not, maybe not in the Telegram or.
Yes, we are in touch with some communities. We are in touch with some people for the sale. It's not only with the launchpad. We're exploring many different ways for marketing and for the outreach.
Got you, man. And last question is, do the only car drivers able to earn while driving, or it will be like any type of vehicles like a motorcycle, bicycle, truck, etc.?
If you can come again, sorry.
Any vehicle driver can use to earn, drive to earn, or it will be only selected for some selected drivers. I mean, selected vehicle drivers.
No. Any driver can use it.
Okay, got you, man. Thanks for your answer. Thanks, Renlin, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rayhan. And we're going to keep it moving to Based Adam. Hopefully you're having an awesome day so far as well. And the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for this amazing opportunity, Raylan. It's been a long time.
No problem.
So,
Go with your question. Sorry
Okay.
for cutting you off. Just continue. No problem.
Okay, sir. So, my questions. Let me go to my question because I've been keeping notes. I've been keeping notes down. So I have a lot of questions, but I'll just round them off with these ones. What security measures are in place to protect user phones and prevent exploits in the decentralized system? Do you get the questions?
Sorry, you mean about the data, the centralized system of the data?
Yes, I mean, what? Let me go back to my question. Like, let me start from the beginning. What security measures are in place to protect user phones and prevent exploits in the decentralized system?
Yes, definitely. They're going to be like all the security measures needed for both, for the phone, for the app on the phone, because the app going to be available both on iOS and Google Store, any other app, and it connects securely to our network to receive the data from. So we're protecting the data and we're protecting the phone that's the app on.
Okay, sir. So my second question is about the tokenomics and the staking. What is the role of the KPT token in the decentralized reward pool distribution, and how does its staking mechanism works?
Okay, so the staking, there is two kinds of staking that works. There is the staking for like a holding power, which means like a reward multiplier. When you own a dongle, it's installed in your car, and you're getting rewards on the drive to earn. If you hold tokens on that account, on that dongle, like staking on the dongle, you get multiplying rewards. So your rewards multiply on with the factor of what tokens, how many tokens you're holding on it. And the other staking mechanism is this license holder, which means you stake tokens to get a franchise license, which allow you to resell dongles and collect 50% of the subscription, if there is a subscription, or 50% of the rewards of the driver now.
Okay, sir. So based on that token and staking, how does this system ensure that LP token stakers are fairly rewarded for providing liquidity, and what are the risks of implemented loss?
Sorry?
Let me repeat my question again. So my question goes like this: how does the system ensure that LP token stakers are fairly rewarded for providing liquidity, and what are the risks of the implemented loss?
Yeah, but we have a buyback system in place. So basically, there is a percentage of the income of the company that goes to rebuy the token from the secondary market to and to provide liquidity at the same time. Because with so many projects in crypto, they're facing this liquidity problem. And they can't really help the token price because they're using a burn mechanism, which is a very old mechanism now. Instead of burn, we're using a buyback, and we're using refilling the reward pool and refilling the liquidity pool.
Okay, sir. Last question, or should I stop? Last question. Should I go on, sir?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you explain the potential governance implemented of staking KPT tokens and participating in the decentralized system?
Sorry, I don't get your question.
Okay, let me repeat it again. Can you explain the potential governance implementation of the staking KPT tokens and participation in the decentralized system?
The system is decentralized. Let me tell you something. There was another project, kind of similar, not exactly the same, but their governance, it was a foundation. So their governance led to so many problems at the project on both executing the project, on providing liquidity. They're getting delisted from some exchanges because of that. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to do like a hybrid model where there is kind of centralization for certain things and there is decentralization for the rest.
Okay, sir. I would love to watch this project grow higher and higher. Mr. Wayland, thanks for this amazing opportunity. Keep it based, and I'll join your Telegram channel. So I have some more questions to ask, but I'll join your Telegram. Thank you, sir. Amazing opportunity.
Thank you.
Mr. Wayland, thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Adam.
you.
We're gonna in fact keep it based. Don't worry about it. All right, and with that, we're gonna continue with the last community question. So Aloma 987, you're gonna be the last question here. So you are on the last hot seat. You know how this goes. Better make your questions count. Better make them great ones. Hopefully you're having an awesome day so far. And the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Hello, Gem, everyone. Please, can you hear me?
Just barely. Let me check if I boost the volume, if it's going to be a little bit better. Try to say something now.
Okay, can you hear me, please?
A little bit better, yeah. Try to ask the question, and we're going to see if we can catch it.
Okay, here's my question, Barry. Like some few weeks ago, I saw something like this, like a company called Demo or something like that. Like, so it's like they kind of have this kind of your product. But my question is, how do you how do you plan to give drivers data and insight? What makes Keeplin different from others people?
That's an amazing question, actually. Yes, there's another project called Demo in the market. It's been out there for some time, but Demo did many mistakes. First, their project is much simpler because they don't have any kind of AI related to the project. That's one thing. The second thing, they are a foundation. So basically, nothing is clear about the team. Nothing is clear about their tokenomics, how things are being done. So there is no transparency, really. You know. The third thing, they had a big problem with liquidity. I think they had a big problem with liquidity. And the fourth thing, I'm hearing myself there.
So I tried to, sorry for cutting off. I tried to mute him and unmute him, so you can just continue. I'm going to unmute him back.
Okay, thank you. And the most important thing, that they weren't straightforward with people. So at the start, they started exactly like the mining thing. You buy a dongle, you install it in the car, and you get rewards for your data, for sharing your data. But in midway, they started to introduce a subscription system, which led to so many members unhappy about that. For us, we're starting with full transparency. We are transparent about our tokenomics. We are transparent about our team. We are transparent how we run things. That's one thing. The second thing, from the beginning, we're giving two offers. We're giving an offer for premium use cases. That's where you pay subscription for if you want to. If you don't want to pay subscription, just use the dongle for mining. You still can do that and reach. So we're giving the choice to the user. We're not imposing any decision on the user on what you should do. And we prefer to keep it that way with the transparent approach.
Okay, that's good. So second question. So how do you plan to use that in the longer term? Like how do you want to keep them engaged?
Sorry, I couldn't hear anything, my friend.
Okay, I was asking, like, since you are offering rewards right now, like how do how do you plan to keep users engaged in the long term?
Sorry, I couldn't get your question. Your voice is very far.
I think I think that I managed to understand
No.
it now. I think that he's asking how you plan to keep users engaged, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. That's the question. In the long term, how do you plan to?
Yes, by distributing the rewards on every epoch, that's one. Second thing, again, I'm saying by the model that we have, by creating this franchise license, we're basically creating a real community that they are in touch together and creating partnerships close to them when it comes to garages, to insurance companies, to different services that we can provide locally wherever our community is present. Besides that, there is more incentives when it comes to the more use cases. So basically, as you know, it's an AI. So it's going to be more and more trained with the live data we're getting. And that will lead to more use cases being like out approximately every 3 months or 4 months. They're going to be like one more out there to be used. So it's not a static thing. It's something that's always going to be growing.
Okay, all right, that's very good. So, yeah, you answered my question already. Thanks for that. So.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Loma. It has been a pleasure. And without further ado, before we close off today's voice chat, just wanted to drop a kind reminder once again, considering there are still some hands raised up. Do make sure to join their Telegram for anything else that you might want to know. And do make sure to also check out your sale. Once again, taking place today in just a couple of hours. So do make sure to check it out as well. And yeah, it has been an absolute pleasure. Just wanted to say thank you very much for the detailed presentation, for not only answering all of my questions, but also the community questions. Wishing you the best of luck for the sale, of course, for the launch later on as well. It has been a pleasure, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day as well.
Thank you, and thanks everybody for this opportunity. It's a pleasure to be with you, and hopefully we're going to see you soon in Keeplin community. Thank you, everyone.
Much appreciated. Thank you very much. And to our community, we're going to catch you on the next one in 1 hour. Have a good one. Cheers.